It's Friday, and the Gold Bike, for all practical purposes, is pretty well done. I've done everything to the bike that needs to be done, I believe. I have the new tires here, which will not be put on until next Tuesday. My tire place, Moto Tire, here in Phoenix on Cave Creek Road. They're open Saturday and Sunday, but man, all the Harley riders and everybody who's out for a weekend ride, they get really busy on Saturday, Sunday. So I'm not going to take this up there and ask them to do these on two of their busiest days of the week. They are closed Monday and open Tuesday. Tuesday I will be there bright and early with bells on, getting these new tires put on the rear tire first. Then I'll flip the bike around and take up the front wheel and then address the last thing that's on the list, which is this rubbing spot right here. There is an Allen bolt here. I'll show it to you. Underneath there, right there, and it is just gently rubbing the wheel inside there. So I'm going to probably just grind about a bazillionth of an inch off the, let me see if I can show it to you. Getting the camera in here, and there it is where it is. Now I have to find it. Zooming is such fun. Zooming is such fun. It's down there somewhere. Zooming is such fun. I can't find it. I know it's in there. But I will probably delete this little section because I know it's in there. Ah, there it is. It's just barely touching this part of the wheel. And there it is. You can't, I mean, it's so close you can't see it, but it has rubbed somehow. So I will just shorten the head of that bolt about a billionth of an inch. And have the front wheel, the front tire put on. Okay, I just finished what I consider to be the last electrical opportunity for excellence. I installed a charger connector right here, and it goes up, and I put the fuse from the cold side to the hot side of the cable, because everybody in the world knows that all the vehicles in the world are in fact negative ground. So these things are made with negative ground systems in mind. So the fuse is on the cold side rather than the hot side, and I prefer to have it on the hot side, so I swapped it. So this is the fuse for the charger. Now the reason it's important to have a fuse for the charger is this connector, because it's made for a negative ground system, the exposed pin here is hot, and if it touches the frame it will go spark, and if it goes spark you want it to blow the fuse here rather than barbecue the whole wire. So that's why I am very careful with these, making sure that, and I tell people to keep the cap on when you're riding and try not to ever let it touch the frame. Okay, this is the main fuse for the bike. It's a 10 amp plug-in. Here's a spare, just right there. I'm the first person to say that that's probably the most worthless spare in the world, because when you're riding along and you blow your main fuse and the bike comes to a halt, and you say to yourself, oh my gosh, so you check your fuse and find out that it's blown, whether it's this style or glass. Oh, well, good news, I've got a spare. You put the spare in, fire up the bike, and then the spare blows, because you didn't fix the problem, you just changed the fuse. Now you've blown up your spare fuse. So if you only carry one fuse, as is on this bike, you're in deep poop when you blow it and then don't have a spare. Now, if and when you blow the main fuse on your bike, check the connections on your brake switch, especially the rear brake switch. On a stock bike, those wires are very likely to short out. So when you're looking for a blown fuse cause, check your brake wires first. That's hot ignition going down there, and lots of metal for it to touch if something were to happen and it were to work loose. Anyway, so one spare is not going to do you any good. If you're riding around on your bike with one spare in your toolkit, good luck. So buy a whole box of a small slidey box with 5 or 6 or 7 fuses in it, and put that in your toolbox along with everything else, because you may take 2 or 3 fuse blows when sitting on the side of the road in the dark, in the rain, at midnight, trying desperately to get your bike rideable again. It may take 2 or 3 or 4 fuses before you finally realize what's causing the fuse to blow, and then fix that, and then put in one of your last remaining fuses. Okay? So this is for show. Basically, this is so that I can put in my report I have added and included a spare fuse. It's window dressing, it's political, it's feel good. It's pretty much worthless, but that's just the way it is. So that was the last thing I had planned on the bike, other than the tires, which will be done early next week. Right now the bike is ready to do a first start, and I'm going to wait till Kevin's here, because it's more fun with 2 people, frankly. I could start it. I mean, I did the first start on bikes for 20 freaking years, and now I have Kevin, and I enjoy doing two-person first starts. So we'll put this first start off until Kevin has a few minutes to come down and join me. In the meantime, these new tires here are beautiful, and they are going to replace these tires that date back to the early 1990s and are hard as rocks. So I'll get these done early next week. We will do a test ride. I have pretty much decided in my own mind that I will do the test ride. Kevin, not because Kevin isn't familiar with cafes and rear sets and low bars, and I am with my own bike, more so that if something catastrophic were to happen and the bike were to be damaged on a test ride, I don't want Kevin to be involved. My shop, my responsibility for this bike. I will do the test ride just because. Okay, so it's so if something happens, I take the blame, not Kevin. So that's where we are. I'm going to call it a day on this bike, and it'll sit here, and then when Kevin has time, we'll come down. We will do a first start and set the ignition timing, and then we'll dress it out, and it'll wait till Tuesday to have the wheels put on. And that's the way it is, and the fun just never stops.